The galaxy had been silent for almost a century. Planets once full of life were now just ashes floating in the dark. The Great War between alien empires had broken every alliance, every rule, and every hope of peace. No one trusted anyone anymore. Even trading ships fired at each other before saying hello. It was a galaxy made of fear. And then, something strange happened. A small ship appeared near the borders of the Zynar system, a place no sane being would ever visit. The scanners of the Zynar patrol picked up a weak signal. It wasn't coded like any known race. It was human. But humans were only a myth. They were said to be an ancient race that had destroyed themselves long before the first galactic records began. The Zynar captain, a creature with scales and 3 eyes, laughed when his crew told him the signal was from Earth. Earth. That world burned 1,000 years ago, he said. Yet the signal was real, a repeating code that said only 2 words, seeking peace. The patrol ship followed the signal and found a small gray vessel drifting among asteroid dust. The engines were almost dead, but someone was alive inside. When they pulled it into the hangar, they saw him, a man, unconscious, wearing a torn space suit with a faded blue flag on the arm. The letters said, Earth, United Human Alliance. The captain stared at the human for a long time. Put him in the cell, he ordered. But something about the man's face made even the Zynar guards hesitate. There was calmness in him, even while sleeping. When the man woke up, he didn't scream or panic. He looked around quietly and said, "Thank you for saving me." No one had ever heard a human voice before. It sounded soft, but strong. The translator drone struggled with his language, yet every word carried strange weight. The captain came to question him. "Who are you? Why are you here?" "My name is Adam Carter," he said simply. "I came from Earth." The captain laughed. "Earth is gone. It's dust." "You are lying." Adam shook his head. "No. We left long ago, before the fall. Some of us survived, hidden, waiting. Now I have returned. The galaxy is broken, isn't it?" The captain hesitated. "Yes," he admitted. "It's chaos. Every empire wants power." Adam's eyes were calm but full of sadness. "Then maybe it's time for something new." For the next few days, strange things began to happen. The crew noticed their systems worked better when Adam was nearby. He helped repair circuits that their best engineers couldn't fix. He spoke about energy flow, balance, and trust, words most of them hadn't heard in years. But others didn't like him. Rumors spread fast that the human was a spy, a manipulator, or maybe a ghost. The Zynar Empire Council sent an order to bring Adam to the capital for interrogation. On the journey, their ship was attacked by a pirate fleet, alien scavengers from the core belt. The captain shouted commands, but they were outnumbered. Plasma fire hit their shields again and again. One more hit and they'd be space dust. Adam stepped forward. "Open the channel," he said. The captain stared at him. "What?" "Trust me. I can stop this." He walked to the comm screen and spoke directly to the pirate leader. "This is Adam Carter from Earth," he said. "We do not fight for gold or empire. We fight for peace." The pirates laughed, until Adam sent a pulse from his ship. Their systems froze. The leader's ship drifted helplessly, unable to fire. How did you do that?" the captain whispered. Adam turned slowly. "Technology built to destroy can also protect," he said. "They won't attack again." After the pirates fled, silence filled the control room. Every crew member looked at the human differently now. Some with fear. Some with hope. Later that night, while the ship floated in quiet space, the captain visited Adam. "Why are you really here, human?" he asked. Adam looked at the stars outside. "Because your galaxy is dying. You have forgotten what unity means. My people once made the same mistake. We burned our home. But we learned one thing: power is nothing without purpose." The captain frowned. "You think you can unite us? You, One man. Adam smiled, just a little. Not me. But maybe the idea of something better. Sometimes all it takes is one spark. The captain didn't answer. But deep down, he felt something he hadn't felt in years. Curiosity, and a small trace of hope. As the stars moved around them, the human from a lost world looked out at the broken galaxy. And in that cold silence, he whispered to himself, "It's time to begin again." But unknown to them, far away, someone was watching. A dark fleet had already noticed the return of the humans. And they were not happy. The message spread across systems faster than light. The human is back. And that meant war. The Xynar ship drifted quietly through the deep black. Inside, everyone tried to rest, but no one could sleep. The human's presence had changed something. Not just the air, but the feeling among them. Even the ship's hum sounded different now. Captain Varek sat in his quarters, watching the data screen. Reports from nearby systems were flooding in. Strange movements. Fleets gathering. Old alliances stirring again. He didn't like it. He had seen enough wars to know what came next. He looked at the security feed. Adam Carter, the human, sitting calmly in the observation bay, staring out at the stars like they were old friends. "What are you looking for, human?" Varek muttered under his breath. Meanwhile, in the observation bay, Adam wasn't just looking at stars, he was remembering. The faces of his crew, the last humans who had left Earth centuries ago. They had scattered across the stars, hiding, surviving, waiting for the right time. And now, he was the one chosen to return. He whispered softly, "They won't understand yet, but they will." Suddenly, the alarm blared. The ship's sensors lit up red. "Unknown ships incoming. Multiple contacts," shouted the communications officer. Varek jumped to his feet and ran to the bridge. "Who are they?" The officer's hands shook. "Signal ID. It's the Dominion fleet." Everyone froze. The Dominion were the most feared force in the galaxy, a ruthless empire that had survived every war by crushing anyone who stood against them. And now, they were here. "How did they find us?" Varek growled. Adam entered the bridge, his face calm as ever. "They followed me," he said quietly. "You brought them here?" Varek roared. "No," Adam said. "They were already watching. My return only woke them up." The ship trembled as the first blast hit. Shields dropped to 60%. Red light filled the bridge. Varek barked orders, "Evasive pattern Delta 3. Prepare the main cannon." But Adam stepped closer. "Fighting them now will only get us killed," he said. Varek glared. "Then what do you suggest, human?" "Surrender." Adam shook his head. "No. Trust me one more time." He walked to the console, his fingers moving across alien symbols like he had known them all his life. The ship's systems flickered, strange lines of code appearing across the main screen. "What are you doing?" shouted the engineer. Adam didn't answer. He pressed one final command, and suddenly, the ship vanished from radar. The Dominion ships began to fire blindly into empty space, hitting nothing. "We're cloaked," the officer whispered in shock. Varek stared at Adam. "That tech doesn't exist anymore. It was lost after the Great War." Adam turned slowly. "Humans built it first." For the next hour, they floated unseen as the Dominion searched the sector. No one spoke. The silence was heavy, full of questions. Finally, the Dominion ships left. Varek leaned back in his chair, breathing heavily. "You saved us again," he admitted. "But now I need answers." Adam nodded. "You deserve them." They met in the war room, surrounded by holograms of burning planets and broken trade routes. Adam looked at them, a map of a dying galaxy. "Thousands of years ago," he began, "humans tried to unite the galaxy under peace. We failed. Our power became our curse. We created weapons too strong, machines too proud. When we lost control, we vanished, by choice." "By choice?" Varek asked. You destroyed your own world? Adam's eyes darkened. Yes. Because we knew others would copy our mistakes. We became ghosts, watching, waiting, learning. Until the galaxy was ready for a second chance. And you think that time is now? Varek said bitterly. Look around you. Nothing but greed and hatred. No one wants peace. Adam smiled faintly. That's exactly why it's possible. Because everyone has lost too much to keep fighting forever. Before Varek could reply, the door slid open. A young officer rushed in. Captain, we're receiving a transmission, encrypted and old, very old. Origin unknown. Play it, Varek ordered. The hologram flickered to life. A face appeared, another human. A woman, her uniform marked with the same faded Earth symbol. To any survivors of the United Human Alliance, her message said, if you can hear this, the Ark is still alive. We are hidden in the ruins of Vega Prime. Come home. The recording ended. The room fell silent. Adam's hands trembled slightly, the first emotion he had shown. She's alive, he whispered. The Ark still exists. What is the Ark? Varek asked. Adam turned toward him. The last human stronghold. A ship big enough to carry 1,000 worlds. If we can reach it, we can save more than just humans. We can save the entire galaxy. Varek frowned. And if the Dominion finds it first? Adam looked straight into his eyes. Then everything, everyone, dies. Varek took a deep breath. Then we find it first. For the first time, Adam smiled fully. Welcome to the beginning of something new, Captain. Outside, the stars glowed brighter, or maybe it was just hope returning after 100 years of darkness. The Zynar ship turned its course toward Vega Prime. But far away, deep in the cold shadows, the Dominion leader watched their movements on a black holographic screen. His red eyes narrowed. So, the humans return, he hissed. Then let them come. We've been waiting. And with one command, a fleet of 1,000 ships began to move. The hunt for the last humans had begun. The stars grew colder as the Zynar ship, the Valiant, approached the Vega system. No one spoke for hours. Every sound, every hum of the engine, felt heavier, like space itself was watching them. Captain Varek stood on the bridge, staring at the swirling blue mist outside the viewport. This place is cursed, he muttered. Nothing comes out of Vega alive. Adam Carter stood beside him, calm as always. That's why the Ark hid here, he said. No one would dare to look. Varek turned to him. You really think your people could survive here for centuries? Adam nodded slowly. Humans are stubborn. We survive anywhere, even when we shouldn't. The ship entered the Vega Nebula. Lightning storms of plasma twisted through space, lighting the ship in flashes of blue and white. Every pulse of light revealed fragments, pieces of ships, hundreds of them, floating silently. Burned, shattered, forgotten. Graveyard of fleets, whispered the helmsman. The scanners beeped. Sir, I'm picking up energy signatures ahead, but they're faint. Could be debris, or something alive. Varek looked at Adam. Your call, human. Adam studied the readings. Those patterns, they match old Earth tech. He smiled faintly. We're close. They followed the signals through the wreckage field until the nebula clouds cleared. And then they saw it. A massive structure hung in the void, half hidden by dust and shadow. It wasn't a ship, it was a city in space. Towering spires. Curved metal wings. A central dome glowing faintly with power. The Ark, Adam whispered. We found it. Even Varek, hardened by decades of war, couldn't hide his awe. That thing's the size of a moon. But before they could move closer, the ship's alarms screamed. Multiple warp signatures, shouted the officer. They've found us. The Dominion fleet burst out of hyperspace, black ships like blades of glass, hundreds of them. The stars vanished behind their hulls. Varek cursed. They were waiting for us. Adam's eyes stayed fixed on the Arkansas. No. They followed my signal. They always knew I'd come here. The Dominion's voice crackled over the comms, deep, cruel, and cold. Human. You cannot hide from what you destroyed. The galaxy does not need you. Adam took the mic. You're wrong. The galaxy needs peace. Peace? The voice laughed. Peace died with your world. Then the attack began. The first barrage tore through space, shaking the Valiant. Shields dropped. Power flickered. Varek barked orders, trying to keep the ship alive. But the Dominion ships were everywhere. We can't hold them, shouted the gunner. Adam stepped forward. Then we go to the Arkansas full speed. Varek hesitated, then nodded. Do it. Engines roared. The ship dove through enemy fire, weaving between plasma bolts and exploding debris. Adam closed his eyes, whispering something. Maybe a prayer, maybe a command. As they neared the Ark, its lights flickered to life. One by one, ancient systems woke from sleep. Massive hangar doors began to open slowly, releasing a pulse of golden light. The Dominion ships tried to follow, but as the Valiant entered the Ark's gravity field, an invisible barrier flared, a shimmering shield of ancient energy. The Dominion's first ships slammed into it and exploded like dust. They can't get in, shouted the engineer. Inside the Ark, silence returned. The vast interior was breathtaking. Metal towers, overgrown gardens, and giant machines sleeping under layers of dust. It was a world frozen in time. Adam walked down the ramp, his boots echoing through the hangar. The air smelled like metal and rain. He touched a wall. It was warm. She's alive, he said softly. The crew followed, weapons ready, eyes wide. I thought it would be empty, said one. It's not, Adam replied. The Ark was built to think, and to dream. They reached the central chamber, a round hall with a single glowing core at its center. Strange symbols moved across its surface. Adam placed his hand on it, and the entire Ark seemed to breathe. A voice echoed, soft, female, mechanical yet human. Welcome back, Commander Carter. The crew froze. The voice continued. You have been gone a long time. Adam smiled sadly. Too long, Aurora. The voice replied, systems at 30%. Crew, a 0 survivors. The room fell silent. Varek looked at him. You said others survived. They did, Adam said quietly. But time wasn't kind. Aurora's light pulsed. Intruders detected outside. Dominion fleet attempting breach. Varek straightened. Can this thing fight? Adam turned to him. Aurora was designed for one purpose, to protect life. But she needs power. How much power? Varek asked. Adam looked at the core. More than we have. Varek clenched his jaw. Then we'll give it everything. As the crew worked, connecting the Valiant's reactors to the Ark systems, Adam stood still, watching the stars through the dome. He knew the Dominion wouldn't stop. They would burn everything just to erase humanity again. Aurora's voice grew stronger. Energy flow stable. Weapons systems online. Shields at 60%. Varek smirked. Now let's show them what a human ghost can do. Outside, the Ark's engines lit up like a sun waking from darkness. Energy waves rippled through the nebula. The Dominion fleet began to retreat, but it was too late. The Ark fired. A beam of pure light cut through space, slicing the enemy ships in half. One after another, they vanished in silent explosions. The crew watched in awe as the darkness cleared. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy saw the power of humanity again. But Adam didn't cheer. He looked down, sadness in his eyes. This isn't victory, he said. It's just the beginning. Varek turned to him. Beginning of what? Adam looked out into the stars. The war for the soul of the galaxy. Far away, deep in Dominion space, the leader received the news. their fleet destroyed by a single ship. His expression twisted in rage. "So the Ark lives," he hissed. "Then we will bring the full weight of the Dominion. Let the galaxy burn." And as the Ark floated quietly among the stars, Adam Carter knew one truth: uniting a broken galaxy would cost more than he could imagine. The Ark floated silently among the stars, a giant sleeping city of humanity's forgotten power. Inside, systems hummed with energy, lights flickered along vast corridors, and ancient machines stirred awake. The crew of the Valiant worked tirelessly, connecting reactors, calibrating weapons, and activating shields. Yet, in every corner, a sense of unease lingered. Captain Varek paced the command hall. "Adam, are you sure the Ark can defend itself?" he asked. Adam Carter's eyes were fixed on the holographic map of the galaxy. "It can do more than defend," he said softly. "It can change the balance of power." Varek's brow furrowed. "Or it could paint a target on your back so big the Dominion will never stop." Adam didn't answer. He stared at the star systems beyond the Vega Nebula. "We didn't come back to hide," he said finally. "We came back to unite." Outside, the Dominion fleet was regrouping. Reports from distant sensors indicated hundreds of ships moving toward Vega, faster than anything the galaxy had seen in decades. The Dominion leader had unleashed everything: fighters, destroyers, and warships powered by dark energy harvested from dead stars. Inside the Ark, Aurora, the ship's AI, began analyzing incoming threats. Her voice echoed calmly through the chambers. "Enemy fleet detected. Probability of survival if we engage directly, 27%. Adam nodded. "Then we don't fight directly. We fight smart." Varek looked at him, confused. "Smart? They outnumber us 100 to 1. Adam smiled faintly. "Numbers don't win wars. Ideas do." He activated the Ark's communication grid, sending a pulse through unclaimed channels across nearby systems. A strange signal, coded in old Earth protocols, reached scattered settlements, pirate enclaves, and even former enemy outposts. "Attention!" Adam's voice rang out, clear and calm. "I am Adam Carter of Earth. The galaxy has been broken too long. Join us. Fight not for empire, but for survival. For life itself." The crew watched in silence. They expected nothing, or worse, retaliation. But responses began to arrive. Small at first, a scout ship here, a mining vessel there, until entire convoys answered the call. Aliens who had known only war, greed, and suspicion now approached the Arkansas. Some came out of curiosity, some out of hope, and some simply because they were tired of dying. Varek's jaw dropped. "You're gathering a fleet." Adam didn't look at him. "Not just a fleet. A coalition. If the galaxy is to survive, every broken piece must come together." But the Dominion was not idle. Their spies had intercepted the signal. And in the heart of their black fortress, the leader watched with fury. "The human dares to unite them," he hissed. "Then I will crush every world before his coalition even forms." Back at the Ark, tension grew. The first Dominion scouts arrived near the nebula edge, moving like shadows. Aurora's sensors lit up with warnings. Adam turned to the crew. "They will test us. But we can't fight them all at once." He moved to the Ark's core chamber, fingers tracing the glowing surface. Energy rippled under his touch, ancient technology responding to his presence. Varek asked, "What are you doing?" Adam didn't look at him. "Waking her fully. If we survive, it won't be just the Arkansas. It will be humanity's will, alive again." Outside, the first skirmish began. Dominion fighters attacked the Ark's outer shields. Beams of energy lit the nebula, explosions throwing debris into the void. But Aurora responded, deploying automated defense drones that danced through the battlefield, cutting down attackers with precision. Varek stood at the observation deck. "I've seen fleets before," he said quietly, "but nothing like this." Adam watched the battle unfold, calm yet tense. The Dominion expects fear. They don't understand what humans can do when they fight together. Hours passed. Dominion losses grew heavier. The Ark's defenses were relentless, automated systems learning from each strike, adapting, improving. But Adam knew this was just the beginning. The leader would not stop. He would bring a full armada. As night fell across Vega Prime, or at least what passed for night in the depths of space, the coalition began to gather near the Arkansas ships of every size, shape, and origin, many of them former enemies, now orbiting in silent alliance. Varek turned to Adam. "You've done the impossible. They actually came." Adam's face was solemn. They came because they have nothing left to lose, and because they are ready to believe in something bigger than themselves. Suddenly, Aurora's voice interrupted them. "Incoming transmission. Dominion flagship. Message priority, high." Adam approached the console. Put it on the main screen. A massive black ship appeared, dwarfing even the Arkansas. Its hull gleamed with a crimson glow. On the bridge, the Dominion leader stared directly at them, eyes burning with rage. "Adam Carter," he growled. "You have made many mistakes. Do you think the galaxy will bow to a human ghost? We will burn your coalition and leave nothing but ashes." Adam stepped forward. "I am not a ghost. I am the reminder of what you lost, and what you can still become." The Dominion leader laughed, a sound colder than the vacuum of space. "Then let the galaxy witness your failure." And with that, the flagship jumped into the nebula. The battle for the galaxy had only just begun. Adam looked at Varek. "This is what uniting a broken galaxy really means," he said quietly. "Not diplomacy. Not talk. War." Varek nodded slowly, gripping the railing. "Then let's make sure we win." And deep within the Ark, its ancient systems stirred, ready to rise. Humanity's long-lost power had awakened, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The Vega Nebula shook with energy as the Ark systems hummed at full power. Outside, the newly formed coalition of ships hovered, their engines glowing softly against the black void. For the first time in centuries, so many races had gathered under one banner, a banner they did not yet understand, yet instinctively trusted. Captain Varek walked along the Ark's command deck, eyes scanning the vast holographic map of the Dominion fleet approaching. "Adam," he said, voice low, "they've brought more ships than I've ever seen. Hundreds of warships, dozens of dreadnoughts. If they break through our shields..." Adam Carter's expression remained calm, almost serene. "They won't," he said. "Not if we strike first." Varek raised an eyebrow. "Strike? We're outnumbered 10-1. Adam turned toward the assembled crew. "Numbers don't matter. Strategy does. Every ship in this coalition has one thing the Dominion does not: freedom to choose, loyalty to each other, and a will to survive. We fight not for power, but for life." Aurora, the Ark's AI, spoke for the first time since full activation. Her voice was smooth, metallic, and filled the room. "Energy flow stable. Shields at 90%. Weapons systems at 68%. Battle strategy ready for deployment." Adam nodded. "Good. Begin the first strike. Target the Dominion supply lines. Cut their reinforcements before they reach us." Varek blinked. "You want us to attack first? Bold move, human." Adam smiled faintly. "Bold is what humanity does best." Outside, the coalition moved like a swarm of fireflies, small ships darting between larger vessels, forming unpredictable formations. The Dominion fleet, massive and rigid, assumed their standard attack patterns, slow, organized, confident. Then the Ark spoke. "Deploying drone squadrons." From the Ark's hangars, hundreds of drones emerged. Each one was sleek, armed with energy disruptors capable of disabling entire ships. They darted like shadows into the Dominion lines, cutting power and sowing chaos. Varek watched the holomap. "They're falling apart." Adam's eyes never left the enemy formation. "Remember, Strike where they least expect. Fear and surprise are stronger than firepower. Small alien ships from the Coalition suddenly emerged from hidden hyperspace pockets, attacking the Dominion supply vessels. Explosions lit the nebula like fireworks. For every Dominion ship destroyed, another fell into disarray. Command chains broke. Communication lines jammed. But the Dominion wasn't done. Their flagship, a crimson behemoth, unleashed a wave of energy so strong it sent smaller ships spinning. One of the Coalition's dreadnoughts exploded in a silent fireball, pieces drifting into the nebula. Varek clenched his fists. "They're stronger than we thought." Adam's voice was calm, but his eyes burned with focus. "Then we get smarter. Focus on weak points. Divide and isolate them. Always move, never stay in their fire." As the battle raged, Adam walked to the Ark's control core. He placed his hands on the glowing surface. Energy pulsed through him. A map of the Dominion fleet appeared in his mind. Every ship, every weapon, every shield, as if he could feel them all. Aurora's voice echoed. Strategy optimized. Probability of victory increased to 74%. Adam nodded. Good. Initiate orbital maneuvers around the central fleet. Use the nebula storms as cover. The Coalition responded like clockwork, weaving through plasma storms, appearing suddenly behind the Dominion ships, striking, and vanishing again. Panic spread through the enemy ranks. Confusion replaced confidence. In the heart of the battle, Varek noticed something remarkable. Former enemies among the Coalition, alien species that had fought each other for centuries, now fought side by side. One Zynar cruiser protected a Quarren frigate, a human-engineered drone shielded a Tarkling vessel. Unity, he realized, was more powerful than any weapon. Hours passed. The Dominion fleet was retreating, battered, disorganized, and humiliated. The Ark floated above the nebula, its shields unbroken, its systems humming like a living heart. Varek turned to Adam, awe in his voice. "You did it. You actually did it." Adam shook his head. "We did it. All of us. This Coalition is proof that the galaxy can unite. But this is only the beginning. The Dominion will strike again, stronger and faster." Aurora's voice softened, almost human. "Warning, casualties sustained in Coalition ships. Some members may not survive next attack." Adam's gaze was heavy. "We will adapt. We will survive. And when the Dominion comes again, we will be ready, not as humans alone, but as a united galaxy." Varek looked out at the stars, now clear and quiet after the storm of battle. "I never thought I'd see this, aliens, humans, even pirates, working together. Against all odds." Adam's eyes glinted. "It takes more than fear to unite the galaxy. It takes hope, courage, and belief in something bigger than ourselves. Today, we proved it can be done." But in the farthest reaches of Dominion space, the leader watched the battle unfold through dark screens. Red light reflected in his eyes. His fleet may have been beaten, but his fury was endless. "So the humans rise," he hissed. "Then the galaxy will burn, before I let them unite it." And somewhere deep in the Ark, Adam Carter felt a shiver pass through the ancient systems. The Dominion would return. But now, for the first time in centuries, he knew the galaxy had a chance. The first strike of the Coalition had succeeded. The spark of unity had begun to shine. But the war for the soul of the galaxy had only just started. The galaxy was quiet for only a moment. The Coalition, now stronger than ever, patrolled the edges of the Vega Nebula, repairing ships and tending to the wounded. Confidence had returned among the races. For the first time in centuries, they believed a united galaxy was possible. But in the shadows, the Dominion was far from defeated. Its fleets, battered but unbroken, regrouped under the command of its ruthless leader. Crimson warships repaired their engines, dreadnoughts refueled, and deadly new weapons were readied, weapons that could turn the tide in a single strike. The Dominion leader stared at the holographic map, his red eyes glowing. "They think they can unite the galaxy," he hissed. Then we will show them the cost of defiance. All fleets, converge. Target Vega. Leave nothing alive. Back at the Ark, Adam Carter sensed the shift before the sensors could register it. He was in the control core, feeling the hum of energy, the pulse of the Ark, and the patterns of the Dominion fleet. Something in the air told him danger was coming, not slow and predictable like before, but swift, cunning, and deadly. Captain Varek entered the core chamber, worry etched on his face. Adam, what is it? They're coming, Adam said simply. And this time, they will not hold back. Aurora's voice sounded urgent. Dominion fleet detected. Signature, 500 vessels. Estimated arrival in 27 minutes. Varek's jaw tightened. 500. We barely survived 100. Adam's eyes were steady. Then we prepare differently. This isn't just a fight. It's a test of everything we've built, the coalition, the Ark, and the trust between species. Outside, the stars darkened as the Dominion fleet appeared like a red tide. Plasma weapons flared, engines roared, and the void of space seemed to tremble. The fleet moved with terrifying precision, surrounding the Ark on all sides. Varek gripped the railing, his knuckles white. They're overwhelming us. Adam placed a hand on the Ark's core. No. We are overwhelming them. But we must use what they don't expect. He turned to the crew. All small ships, engage stealth maneuvers. Hit their supply lines and communication arrays first. Heavy cruisers, form shielded perimeter. Dreadnoughts, ready energy disruptors. Aurora's voice rang out. All systems optimized for maximum efficiency. Probability of survival, 59%. Varek raised an eyebrow. That's not reassuring. Adam smiled faintly. War is never reassuring. The battle began with a deafening roar. Dominion fighters darted through space, seeking targets. But coalition ships, guided by Adam's strategy and the Ark's intelligence, moved unpredictably, striking swiftly and disappearing into the nebula storms. Massive dreadnoughts of the Ark fired beams of pure energy, cutting through enemy ships like knives through silk. Plasma storms twisted unpredictably, and Adam's understanding of ancient human tech allowed the Ark to manipulate them, turning the environment itself into a weapon. Varek's voice was tense over comms. Adam, their flagship is heading straight for us. Adam's eyes narrowed. Good. Let it come. The Dominion flagship, a colossal crimson fortress, moved like a predator. Its weapons unleashed storms of energy, shaking the Ark and coalition ships alike. Shields flickered, alarms screamed, and debris rained down. Aurora spoke urgently. Structural integrity at 70%. Shields holding, but weakening. Adam's hands glowed faintly as he interfaced directly with the Arkansas energy surged through the ship, ancient systems responding to his will. Turrets rotated, energy channels reconfigured, and a shield of pure light expanded outward, pushing back the enemy assault. But the Dominion leader was cunning. He sent stealth squadrons through hidden channels, striking the coalition ships from behind. One by one, smaller vessels exploded, leaving trails of fire in the void. Varek gritted his teeth. They're breaking through. Adam's voice was calm, almost cold. Then we hit them where it hurts. Focus all fire on the flagship's power core. Energy cannons aimed. Plasma bolts converged. The Ark's drones swarmed, disabling enemy shields. The flagship's energy field flickered. With a final, synchronized strike, a concentrated beam of light tore through the Dominion flagship. The colossal ship shuddered and exploded, sending fragments across the nebula. The Dominion fleet wavered. Confusion spread like wildfire. Adam didn't pause. Push forward. Rally the coalition. Drive them back. 4 hours, the Ark and its fleet fought relentlessly. The Dominion was powerful, but disorganized without its flagship. Coalition ships moved with unity and precision, striking where needed. Finally, the battle ended. The Dominion forces retreated, battered and humiliated. Silence returned to the Vega Nebula, broken only by the hum of the Arc systems. Varek exhaled, leaning against the railing. We actually did it. They're gone, for now. Adam's eyes were on the stars. For now, he repeated. The Dominion will return. And next time, it will be worse. But we have shown something today, that the galaxy can fight together, that even against impossible odds, unity can prevail. Aurora's voice softened. Casualties sustained, minimal compared to potential losses. Coalition morale high. Varek turned to Adam. You've done something no one thought possible. You've united them, at least for now. Adam nodded, but a shadow crossed his face. Unity is fragile, and the Dominion is relentless. This victory, it is only the beginning. The real test is still to come. Far away, in the heart of the Dominion Empire, the leader clenched his fists. So, the humans rise, he hissed. Then the galaxy will burn before I let them unite it. Prepare everything. The final war begins now. And in the Ark's control core, Adam Carter felt the weight of the galaxy on his shoulders. One last battle remained, the one that would decide the future of all life. The Vega Nebula was calm, deceptively calm. After the first battles, the coalition had gathered once more, repairing ships, tending to the wounded, and preparing for what Adam Carter knew would be the final confrontation. Every race in the coalition looked to the Ark as a symbol of hope, unity, and the impossible. Captain Varek stood beside Adam on the observation deck. You realize, he said quietly, this is it. The Dominion isn't coming to negotiate. They're coming to annihilate us. Adam's gaze remained on the stars. Then we give them a fight they will never forget. Not for revenge, not for glory, but for life. Aurora's voice echoed through the Ark, steady and calm. Dominion fleet detected. Signature, 700 vessels. Estimated time to engagement, 30 minutes. 700 ships. Varek's stomach tightened. We can't hold them. Adam turned slowly, his eyes glowing with determination. We don't have to hold them. We have to show them what the galaxy looks like when it fights together. The coalition ships formed ranks, strange and beautiful in their diversity. Zynar cruisers, Quarren frigates, human-engineered drones, Tarkling warships, even reformed pirate vessels, all moving as one. Adam stepped forward to the Ark's core, placing his hands on the glowing surface. Energy pulsed in response, filling the Ark, flowing outward to the fleet. Aurora's voice softened. Systems at maximum. Weapons optimized. Shields at full capacity. Probability of victory, 68%. Adam's lips curved into a small smile. Better than the odds of survival most species get in a lifetime. Outside, the Dominion fleet arrived in full force. Red hulls glinting in the nebula, massive dreadnoughts bristling with energy, fighters swarming like locusts. Their leader's voice boomed over open channels, cold and merciless. Adam Carter, he snarled, you dared unite the galaxy. I will burn every world before your dream lives. Adam's voice was calm, unshaken. Your galaxy has already been burning for centuries. I am not here to fight you. I am here to end the burning. The first clash was catastrophic. Beams of energy tore through space, ships collided, explosions lit the nebula like a second sun. Dominion fighters attempted surprise strikes, but the coalition had learned from previous battles. Maneuvers were precise, coordinated, and unpredictable. Adam moved through the Ark's control core, his hands touching ancient interfaces, his mind connecting with every system, every drone, every weapon. Energy pulsed like a heartbeat through the Ark, through the fleet, through the coalition itself. Varek shouted over the alarms. They're targeting the Ark's core directly. Adam didn't flinch. Let them. The Ark is more than metal. It's humanity's will, and that cannot be destroyed. Aurora amplified the Ark's power. Shields expanded, energy beams concentrated, drones swarmed the attackers, and the Dominion flagship faltered under the combined assault. For every Dominion ship destroyed, coalition morale surged. For every victory, the idea of unity grew stronger in the hearts of all. Hours passed. The battle raged, devastating and brilliant. The Dominion's fleet, once invincible, began to crumble under the relentless tide of strategy, technology, and the unbreakable will of Adam Carter. Finally, the Dominion flagship, the heart of the enemy power, floated damaged and broken. Adam's hand hovered over the final command. "Do it," he said simply. Aurora's systems aligned. Energy focused, beams concentrated, and in one blinding flash, the flagship shattered. The Dominion fleet, now leaderless and scattered, retreated in panic. Silence returned to the nebula, broken only by the hum of the Ark and the cheers of the coalition. Varek turned to Adam, awe in his voice. You did it. The Dominion is beaten. The galaxy." Adam shook his head. "Not just beaten. Changed." Across the coalition, ships lowered their weapons. Former enemies looked at each other, then at Adam, understanding for the first time that something incredible had happened. The galaxy had fought together, survived together, and now, could live together. Adam stepped out onto the Ark's observation deck. Stars stretched endlessly before him, but for the first time, they didn't feel cold. They felt alive. "This is only the beginning," he said softly. "The galaxy has been broken for too long, but it can heal. Not by one species, not by one ship, but by all of us, together." Varek nodded. "You've united the galaxy, Adam. You've made hope real again." Adam smiled faintly. "Hope was always there. I just reminded them they could reach for it." Far across the stars, remnants of the Dominion watched from the shadows, their fury unbroken, but their confidence shaken. One day, they might rise again. But for now, the galaxy had tasted something they could not take: unity. And somewhere in the heart of the Ark, Adam Carter whispered to himself, "A broken galaxy can be whole again, and we will protect it, together." The Ark's lights glowed brighter, energy flowing through every system, every ship, every heart in the coalition. For the first time in centuries, the stars themselves seemed to shine with a promise that humanity, and those who chose unity, could change the course of the universe. The galaxy was no longer broken. It was alive. And the human who returned from a lost world had shown them all how.